Donald Trump may be about to drag America into another catastrophic war, this time in Venezuela. And while the world focuses on his tariffs, health rumors, and failing presidency, the White House is quietly sending thousands of troops and a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier toward the Caribbean. This isn't a drill, it's an escalation, and the consequences could be disastrous. While Trump rants about imaginary threats at the border, he's authorizing real ones abroad. Last week, he ordered the USS Gerald Ford, America's most advanced carrier, into position near Venezuela. Officially, it's about fighting drugs, but military analysts say this looks less like a counter-narcotics mission and more like the prelude to war. Let's start with the facts.
Well, it's certainly a show of force, if nothing else, Whit. We have already about 10,000 service members in the Caribbean, off the coast of Latin America. This would add 5,000, and those carriers are bristling with weapons. You have F-18 fighters, you have missiles, you have electronic warfare, all of that equipment there. So again, it's certainly a show of force. Whether he wants to do anything else with that, we have seen, as you said, those drug boat strikes, dozens killed in those drug boat strikes, some of them on video. The Pentagon is very good about releasing that immediately. They want a strong message to Nicolas Maduro that drugs have to stop coming into the U.S.
That's 15,000 U.S. personnel in striking range of Caracas for a so-called anti-drug operation. But experts say it's a cover for something much bigger. Just this week, Senator Lindsey Graham confirmed on Face the Nation what everyone's been suspecting. This mission could expand beyond the sea.
You don't need an aircraft carrier to hit drug boats. Are land strikes planned?
Yeah, I think that's a real possibility. I think President Trump's made a decision that Maduro, the leader of Venezuela, is an indicted drug trafficker, that it's time for him to go, that Venezuela and Colombia have been safe havens for narco-terrorists for too long. And President Trump told me yesterday that he plans to brief members of Congress when he gets back from Asia about future potential military operations against Venezuela and Colombia. So there will be a congressional briefing about a potential expanding from the sea to the land. I support that idea, but I think he has all the authority he needs.
There it is, land strikes. Lindsey Graham isn't warning against them, he's cheering them on. Another neocon dream of regime change dressed up as national security. Let's be clear, Venezuela poses zero threat to the United States. Colombia is an ally. And the fentanyl crisis Trump blames on South America? It's sourced in Mexico and China, not Caracas. But the White House isn't letting facts get in the way of another war playbook. Today, Newsweek reported something even more explosive, an alleged CIA operation gone wrong. But let's take a breath and look at what this really means. Because if you've been paying attention, this is exactly how American wars start. First comes the show of force. Then comes the justification, always cloaked in some moral crusade about democracy or drugs. And right now, Trump is replaying that script, word for word. We've seen this movie before. Presidents from both parties have used narcotics as a pretext for intervention, from Reagan's covert operations in Central America to Bush's invasion of Iraq over phantom weapons. Every time, the pattern's the same. Intelligence agencies quietly expand operations, military contractors smell profit, and working-class Americans end up paying the price in blood and taxes. And notice who's cheering the loudest, the same Republican hawks who spent years promising to end forever wars. Now, they're drooling over a fresh one in Latin America, using the exact same propaganda that plunged us into the Middle East. If that's even partially true, it suggests the Trump administration is once again playing the shadow war game, the same tactics that destabilized the Middle East now being tested in Latin America. And it's not just espionage. The Economist confirmed that American destroyers have docked in Trinidad and Tobago, conducting war games right next to Venezuelan waters. It's a military buildup with no clear goal, no congressional authorization, and no exit strategy. Meanwhile, Trump's defense secretary Pete Hegseth is reportedly invoking the 1991 Gulf War as a model for success. But that war didn't remove Saddam Hussein. The regime change came later, and it destroyed an entire region. So why risk war with Venezuela now? The answer is the same as always: distraction and desperation. Trump's polling is collapsing, his legal troubles are deepening, and every foreign strike gives him an image boost among right-wing voters who mistake violence for strength. But this isn't strength, it's reckless political theater. And if Maduro retaliates, or if American forces cross the line into Venezuelan territory, we could be facing a regional war that destabilizes all of Latin America. Trump promised no more endless wars. Instead, he's building the foundation for another one, with thousands of U.S. troops already in harm's way. Every missile, every maneuver, every show of force is a reminder of how fragile peace can be when power is in the hands of a man who needs chaos to survive politically. If you believe America can't afford another senseless war, hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and tell us in the comments, do you think Trump's Venezuela buildup is about drugs or about control? Because history tells us it's never really about the drugs. This isn't about keeping drugs out of the country, it's about keeping Trump in power and giving his administration a new crisis to exploit right before the election season begins.